In the high-rise offices of the world's most powerful corporations, decisions are made that shape the lives of millions. Boardrooms become battlefields. Promotions are won or lost with a single whispered word. Loyalty is fleeting. Alliances are strategic. And somewhere, silently guiding these power plays, is a man who lived 5 centuries ago, Niccolò Machiavelli. You may know him as the author of The Prince, the infamous political treatise that taught rulers how to wield power with ruthless precision. But what if I told you his ideas are alive and well, not in palaces, but in conference rooms and corner offices? Welcome to the unfolding journey, where we dive deep into the layers of history, philosophy, psychology, and leadership to uncover what truly drives human behavior, and how those insights apply today. In this video, we're peeling back the velvet curtain of corporate leadership to reveal how Machiavelli's centuries-old strategies are being played out in real time, often right under your nose. Niccolò Machiavelli, born in 1469 in Florence, wasn't a king, a general, or even particularly powerful in his lifetime. He was a civil servant and diplomat during a time of political upheaval in Italy, a period where alliances turned overnight and cities fell due to betrayal, not battle. In his exile, Machiavelli penned The Prince, a brutally honest guide for rulers that emphasized realpolitik, doing whatever is necessary to maintain power, even if it meant deception, manipulation, or cruelty. Modern corporate leaders may not carry swords or wear crowns, but the stakes in boardrooms can be just as high. Millions of dollars, entire careers, and sometimes national economies depend on the decisions made by people at the top. That's why Machiavelli's principles are still studied, not just in political science departments, but in MBA programs. One of Machiavelli's most quoted ideas is, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." But a lesser-known insight is equally crucial. Everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are. In corporate leadership, perception is often reality. A CEO may cultivate an image of ethical stewardship while ruthlessly eliminating competition behind closed doors. Leaders know that shareholders, employees, and the media respond not necessarily to truth, but to presentation. Think of Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Indra Nooyi. Their public personas are carefully crafted, visionaries, disruptors, empathetic leaders. But behind that image lies strategy, decision-making that's often cold, calculated, and unapologetically Machiavellian. Machiavelli warned rulers to form alliances only when it served their interests, and to expect betrayal as a natural part of politics. Sound familiar? In the business world, mergers and partnerships happen daily, and so do backroom betrayals. Corporate takeovers are rarely about mutual benefit. They are strategic moves to absorb competitors, secure market dominance, or acquire intellectual property. CEOs may publicly praise an acquired company while privately dismantling its structure. Similarly, internal office politics often resemble Machiavellian dynamics. Ambitious employees form strategic friendships, backers rise and fall with leadership changes, and loyalty often lasts only as long as it's beneficial. Perhaps Machiavelli's most controversial principle is the idea that the ends justify the means. It's a concept many corporate leaders wrestle with, especially when ethical compromises must be made in pursuit of success. For instance, laying off hundreds to preserve long-term profitability, using data-driven manipulation in marketing to drive consumer behavior, greenwashing to appeal to investors without real change. Is it ethical? That's debatable. Is it effective? Often yes. This isn't an endorsement of corporate ruthlessness, but an acknowledgement of the reality. Leaders who understand how to navigate moral gray zones often outperform those who don't. Machiavelli asked, "Is it better to be feared or loved?" In corporate leadership, the question becomes, is it better to be respected or liked? A Machiavellian leader cultivates controlled loyalty. They understand that too much friendliness can weaken authority, while too much fear breeds resentment. The best leaders balance both, keeping teams loyal not out of love, but out of calculated respect, even necessity. They reward key players, punish publicly when needed, and maintain just enough distance to project power. We see this in high-performing CEOs who demand excellence, offer no excuses, and wield influence through strategic communication and visible strength. One of Machiavelli's most pragmatic ideas was using crisis as a tool for consolidation. A Machiavellian leader knows that a scandal can be redirected to eliminate rivals. A downturn can be used to reorganize and centralize power. A A crisis is a time to make bold changes people would otherwise resist. In 2020, during the COVID-19 pandemic, many companies used the crisis to downsize, restructure, or shift business models under the cover of necessity. Some CEOs emerged stronger than before, precisely because they used Machiavellian strategy: adapt, consolidate, and dominate. This is where nuance comes in. Machiavelli isn't advocating for evil, he's advocating for realism. His central premise is that to survive and lead, you must understand human nature, which is often self-interested, short-sighted, and emotional. Great leaders are not necessarily ruthless, but they are aware. They anticipate betrayal. They think 5 moves ahead. They mask weakness. They move silently but strike decisively. If anything, Machiavelli's teachings are a wake-up call, not to become tyrants, but to see the game clearly. And once you see the board, you can choose how to play, with wisdom, integrity, or cunning, as the situation demands. So, the next time you're in a meeting, negotiating a raise, or pitching to investors, ask yourself, what would Machiavelli do? Would he stay silent? Or speak strategically? Would he trust blindly? Or test loyalties? Would he follow the rules? Or rewrite them? Machiavelli's legacy lives on not because he was cynical, but because he was honest about power. And in today's boardrooms, that honesty is more relevant than ever. If you found this exploration thought-provoking, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join us on the unfolding journey, where history, philosophy, and strategy come together to illuminate the world around us. Leave a comment. Do you think Machiavellian leadership is necessary or dangerous? Let's talk. And as always, stay curious.